Alright, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have Elektra. This is the 2005, an hour and 37-minute film from 20th Century Fox, now Studios. Got rid of the Fox, added the Studios. And it's a spin-off of Daredevil, which starred Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner here. The weird thing is this sequel, because the Daredevil film was from 2003. This is a spin-off of that, and it's from 2005. And considering that she died at the end of the film, well, of course, she's going to have her own sequel. Why not? And of course, if you know the Daredevil comics, it's really hard to kill Elektra. I mean, created by Frank Miller, and she died in Daredevil's arms. A spoiler from the comics from the 80s, and of course it had to be replicated in the movie, killed by Bullseye. And if you're going to take on this, if you're going to make a Daredevil movie and you think, well, I don't know if we're going to make another one of these. Nobody knows who Daredevil is. It's not like he's Spider-Man or the Hulk, so who've had many, many films at this point, or the X-Men even. Well, X-Men had only been around for 3 years. At least X-Men movies had only been around for 3 years. And then a Spider-Man movie only had come out in 2002. Daredevil came out in 2003. This came out in 2005. They were throwing stuff at the wall because they had the licenses to do so. And there was no Marvel Studios yet. So let's start making use of the characters that we have the rights to. Fox at the time had Daredevil, Elektra, everybody in the Daredevil realm, let's just say. Fantastic Four, X-Men, Ghost Rider. So yeah, they had a good batch, and they certainly went through them. Well, here we go. We get... Even though she died, she gets her own spin-off, and it's barely explained how she survived. It's a given. Hey, she has a movie, you're watching it, she's alive now. Things happen when the hand is involved. It's all mysticism. This is much more mystical in nature than Daredevil. She's basically fighting what looks like a new metal band from the early 2000s, but are really agents of the hand who basically turn into yellow dust when they're killed. That's how you keep the body count low and keep her as a hero where she doesn't really kill people, because normal times when you kill bad guys or good guys, they leave a body behind. In this way, they just turn into video game villains where they just poof. It's like she doesn't get a coin or anything, but they're there. And she gets a good stack of supernatural kind of bad guys. A guy who's just big. I think he's stone. There's a guy who his tattoos can turn into any animal he wishes, and like snakes or wolves or a crow or whatever. And then they can either hunt down or attack his victim. I don't remember Tattoo as being a Marvel character. I could be wrong. I just don't remember Tattoo. It sounds too Fantasy Islandish to me. There's Typhoid, which is kind of surprising. Typhoid Mary is the full name for the comics, but Typhoid, she spreads disease. She can make you sick just looking at her, but she's very attractive. But she also looks like the lead singer of a new metal band from 2003 or earlier. Yeah. The makeup, the hair, the leather, all that stuff. Yeah. And she usually spreads her disease with a kiss, and that's happened to Daredevil, but you know what? She wasn't in the Daredevil movie. She's in the Elektra movie, so guess who gets a kiss? Quite titillating. Yeah. It's got all sorts of aesthetic things. It says, this is 2005. Go. So what we get here, why is she alive? Why is she back? Well, we get pieces of that along the way, but this is mostly about, Fast and Furious much? I don't know if you could hear that, but people just like to drive loud in my neighborhood. Welcome to LA. Family. Anyway, she's back from the dead, and she's killing people again. She's an assassin, Elektra assassin. So she's kind of trying to burn off the whole relationship she had with Matt and just try to get back to her basics. And at first, you're not really sure if it was taking place before or after her experience with Daredevil, but they kind of run it in. She's a ghost. There's a whole sequence where you get to see her. It's a nice little opening presentation where she's just kind of like the boogeyman. She's John Wick before John Wick, but with less gun fu and more size and flipping and kicking and stabbing. So Jennifer Garner, aka Elektra Nachios, she's doing her job, and she's not fulfilled whatsoever. She has a ton of flashbacks as to her origin, what happened to her mother as a child, what happened to her as a child, and it's just running through her brain a lot recently. I wonder why. Well, of course, we're going to get in a situation where she just wants to get away from it all. She's tired of all the killing. She just wants to break her angel. I'm not going to tell you the whole movie, by the way. You can watch it yourself, but you don't have to. She wants to get away, but coincidentally, she runs into somebody who, a handsome man played by Goran Visnik, plays Mark Miller. Did Mark Miller write for Daredevil for a while? He's written everything else at Marvel, but I don't know. Either way, at least they didn't just name him Frank Miller. That would have just been way too obvious, considering that Frank did appear in the Daredevil film. So anyway, we get to see her past with ninjas, against ninjas, and the ninjas are called the Hand. They are the ones who explode with yellow smoke when you kill them. When she tries to get away, of course, it keeps pulling her back in, that whole ninja world, that whole assassin world, and she doesn't want to do a job. They're willing to pay a whole lot of money. She says no. And when she realizes, she runs into this handsome young man and his daughter, who's 13, who's precocious, and they're always a little arguing, but Elektra seems like she's found something that she's been missing. It affects her a little bit. And when she's invited to Christmas dinner, yes, this is technically a Christmas film, even though there's not one decoration whatsoever. We only know it's Christmas Day because somebody mentions it. They're out in the middle of the wilderness, away from shopping and commercialism and everything else. So, it's Christmas Day. Elektra's totally blissed out, or not blissed out, she's just totally checked out that she doesn't know what day it is. And that's fine for her because she doesn't have to be killing anybody. But when she decides, you know what, I'm sick of this peace and quiet, I'm going to take on that job that I turned down earlier, it turns out to be the dad and the daughter that she just happens to be right next door to and just shared Christmas dinner with. So, yeah. Is it a coincidence? Of course it isn't. But that's a whole other thing. So does she take on the job? For a minute there, she's ready to just make herself numb and get right back into it again. But, of course, she grows a conscience, and she said instead of killing, she tries to protect them. And that's pretty much the rest of the film, where she is trying to defend who she sees as innocents. But there's more to their story than what it appears to be. I'm telling you all this because the movie's 20 years old, and if you really wanted to see it, you probably would have seen it by now. Maybe what I've just told you here right now might make you want to watch it. It's not a great film. It's utterly predictable in every single aspect when it comes to combat, when it comes to feelings, when it comes to dialogue, when it comes to motivation, when it comes to her costume choice in the final battle, which is just the bright red lingerie outfit. Essentially, that's what it is. It's a really shiny, silky-looking material, even more so than how it appeared in Daredevil, I think. I I'm not watching it to compare, but I think her color is a bit more muted in Daredevil. In this, it's really bright, and it literally looks like she's just like, hey, welcome to our honeymoon. I'm gonna wear red on our honeymoon. And she has to do a final battle with a guy that is also from the Hand, and he is just as super deadly ninja. He's played by Will Yun Lee. He's Kirigi. I think the character's familiar. You will definitely recognize the actor if you've seen any like Asian battle, kung fu or mafia types of things. Was he in? Oh, he was Harada in the Wolverine. Yeah, he went up against Logan. But yeah, he's done a lot of work. You'll recognize Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. He's been in everything as well. Mortal Kombat. He was Shang Tsung. And Terrence Stamp plays Stick, her blind mentor, and also the mentor to Daredevil at one point, Matt Murdock. Was he in that Daredevil movie? I can't remember. I think he was. I literally erased my mind. And that's the thing with this. I haven't seen this movie in 20 years, since I saw it in the theaters. Yes, I'm the person who goes to see every Marvel movie in the theaters. You're welcome, Marvel. Sometimes many times. I'm feeling that as lovely as Jennifer Garner is, I liked her in 13 going on 30. Normally her type of actress tends to just do romantic comedies, so this is a bit of a change for her, where she plays a deadly assassin who kind of wants to become a family woman to a certain degree. It doesn't quite work out that way, but no spoilers, but it's still she has a change of heart and she becomes the hero in this sense. And is there a romantic line post Matt? It feels like it has to be tacked on, and it is, but it's the slightest effort. It's just to say they did. And of course, I think there's been a more passionate kiss between her and Typhoid than anything else. Although I have to mention this, and I don't really have to, but there's a point, there's a number of points in this where it just seems like her and the 13-year-old girl played by Kirsten Zien, they just frame the shot. I'm sorry, Rob Bowman, but framing the shot like there's almost a romantic pull, and it. So, yeah, it's the shots are framed just in a way that makes me go, no, I don't. Is that intentional? Whatever. But it's not even on my mind. It's just that when I would look up the screen, I'm like, are they going to kiss? This is well before the scene with Typhoid, which I completely forgot about until it happened. So, yeah, there is Natasha Maith is Typhoid. Bob Sapp is Stone. Chris Ackerman is Tattoo. Yeah, it's some of these people have less interesting names. Hiro Kanagawa plays Mizumi. He's kind of the elder in the Hand. So yeah, actor-wise, it's got a good stack of actors you've probably seen in things before. Unfortunately, the story is incredibly, like, it just copied and pasted parts from other films. Not necessarily good parts, but things where it's where the turn is going to happen, the choice she's going to make, it's going to be a struggle to not kill people at first, and then it's a little girl, come on, you can't. And is the little girl special in some way? So, yeah, it's surprisingly, not always surprisingly, there are moments in this film where the CGI effects, the visual effects actually stand up. They hold up after 20 years. Specifically, the tattoo animals. Yes, you know it's absolutely fake, but it stands out. It stands up a whole lot more. The snakes, at first, when they are first coming out of him and kind of thing, I was surprised. The spider. There's a spider at one point that looks really real, and obviously it's not because I don't know. You can't direct a spider that well. But I would say if you need to see every single Marvel film, well, this is one of them that you're going to have to watch. It's I don't think it's any fault of Jennifer's or necessarily Rob's. I think just at this point it's still early in our in Hollywood's understanding of how to make a superhero film. Marvel Studios, for the most part, fixed that. There's always the DC way of doing things, and there was always a certain Marvel way of doing things, taking the theme, throwing in all the major characters, and then grind it to death until it's just a series of cool scenes only the nerds remember from the comics. Just stitch those together and call that a movie. That's what the X-Men turned into eventually. And Spider-Man just also kind of did that too. It's like, oh, you know what? We need the popular villains. Let's push Venom into that movie, even though the director didn't want it. Sam didn't want it. And Elektra, was it necessary? No. Had Daredevil been better received? Maybe. Yeah. But the way Elektra was handled and also forgotten quickly in the Netflix series was slightly better, I guess. She also died in that one. But the next Netflix and now Disney Plus Daredevil heads and shoulders above the Fox version. Nothing against Ben, but yeah. If you saw Deadpool and Wolverine and you're like, whoa, what is Elektra? What's Jennifer Garner doing in that Deadpool movie? Where did she come from? What movie was that? Well, it was called Elektra. And you want to know more about her and why she was fighting for relevance? Well, you know what? Here you go. That's the movie that we forgot 20 years ago. Sorry, Jen. Just saying. It's an hour and 37 minutes. I can say that. And you can enjoy that for that long, if you want. 113. 113. Will it be another documentary? It will. Oh, it's not a documentary. It's a reality show, and it's about food. Disney has succumbed to adding so many reality shows. And honestly, if they hadn't, I'd probably be done with this series. Many of you would be happy with that. I would be done with this series by the end of the year if they didn't keep putting on new reality shows about dancing toddlers and food and building houses like all the other networks. Or just taking them from those networks. This one is... I remember it being food. I think... as a famous chef is in this. We'll know it when we talk about it tomorrow when we watch Tournament of Champions. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Wait, yes. We're going to watch people battling about food on the next, in Tournament of Champions, on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.